Welcome back. This is SleeplessRonin, and today I'm going to make good on a video promise I made several months ago, I do believe. And I'm going to discuss a single piece of Battletech equipment. I'm going to be talking about C3 computer systems. And to that end, I've set up two lances. I've got the blue lance of a Battlemaster M3, Wolverine 8C, and Catapult K5. On the other side, I've got the red lance of an awesome 9M, a Thunderbolt 9M, and a Shadowhawk 5S. Yes, I know these are under strength lances, but I really didn't need extra mechs on the battlefield to illustrate what I'm talking about. The blue lance is the C3 lance. It has a master under the Battlemaster, yay, and it has a Wolverine and Catapult, both with slave systems. The other lance is a normal lance. The only thing special in the lance is that the Shadowhawk has a Guardian ECM. Here we see the battlefield. The blue lance is set up around the battlefield, and the Battlemaster is hiding. The Wolverine is on the cliff top overlooking the two heavier mechs, and a Catapult is keeping itself at a long distance away. It is at 15 hexes. The Catapult K5 has two MRM systems, which have a maximum range of 15 hexes. And the Awesome is currently at that range. The Wolverine is a mere 5 hexes away. Both of them have C3 slave systems, and they are connected to the C3 Master. All that requires to be connected to the C3 Master is that you can draw an uninterrupted line between the slave system and the Master system. By doing so, as we can see right here, the range information from the Wolverine is passed along to the Catapult. The Wolverine at 5 hexes passed along that range to the Catapult. Now its 15 hexes counts as 5 hexes. It still is 15 hexes, this is very important, because weapons have maximum ranges. If the Catapult was to attempt to fire the Thunderbolt some 16 hexes away, it would be unable to because the Thunderbolt is beyond its maximum weapon range. Even though the range information is being 4 hexes, the Catapult's weapons actually cannot reach it. So it's important that the Catapult is going to fire the Awesome, because the Awesome is within 15 hexes. But now it counts as a short range modifier, plus 0, to fire its weapons. This is a huge benefit on the battlefield. Now the Shadowhawk appears. It has an ECM system. Both the Wolverine, who's teleported, and the Catapult are attempting to draw a direct line between themselves and the Battlemaster in order to connect their C3 network. However, they cannot. Their lines pass through the Shadowhawk's ECM bubble, meaning they are no longer in network. The line connecting the Wolverine and the Catapult does not matter. Only lines connecting to the Master System actually matter, because the Master System is the one doing the math work, essentially, in the game. As long as both mechs can draw a line to the Master, they can share data. But if one of them cannot draw a line to the Master without it being interrupted by an ECM field, then it can't share data in the network. In this case, the Shadowhawk has moved up to where the Battlemaster is now underneath the ECM bubble. Any mech inside the bubble loses connection to the C3 system. In this case, the Battlemaster is in the ECM bubble and the entire network is now down. In this instance, we see the Shadowhawk is badly positioned, where it is no longer covering any of the opposing mechs or the lines they can draw to the Master System. It is not affecting the C3 network in this case. It would not help prevent any shot modification from the Catapult or the Battlemaster if they have line of sight to their targets. That is another important thing. You still need to be able to see your target to shoot with a C3 system. C3 does not provide a benefit to any form of indirect fire. Although the C3 Master System does have a tag, but that's a whole different issue. In this case, the only things that the ECM may be blocking would be things like Artemis 4 and 5 fire control systems. Any narcs on the Thunderbolt, the Awesome, or the Shadowhawk would also be affected. In this case, we see where, once again, the Wolverine would no longer be able to draw a line to the Battlemaster in order to be connected to the network. However, the Catapult does have an unobstructed line to the Battlemaster, providing the Battlemaster with improved targeting data. While it will not be a massive benefit, it will still get the Battlemaster closer for its range, perhaps reducing the range of its weapons from long to medium, which is still a change of 2, which is good. Now we're going to look at C3I, or the improved C3 network. Whereas the master-slave system is essentially a top-down hierarchy system, the C3I system is a distributed network. Each machine is connected to all the other machines, meaning they don't have to report to a single individual. For examples, we are going to see a Preta, Malak, Archangel, and Grigori with C3I. It's a hallmark of all these celestial omnis used by Word of Blake. In this instance, we see the Shadowhawk once again casting its ECM bubble. It's doing a very good job in this one because it's blocking most of the lines of connection. The Malak is unable to draw a line to the Preta, or the Grigori, or the Archangel. Only the Preta and the Archangel are able to share data, which will still help the Archangel a little bit, but not very much. That's an unfortunate spot to be in. In this case, the Shadowhawk is doing a really good job blocking the C3I network. But let's pretend that the Shadowhawk is not the C3 mech, or the ECM mech, the Thunderbolt is. In this case, the Thunderbolt is doing a pretty bad job. While it is blocking the Grigori, it is leaving the Malak, Preta, and Archangel available to share targeting data. Because, since there's no master needed, the Malak does not need to draw a direct line to the Archangel. It can bounce its data through the Preta, meaning all three get to share the same targeting data. Meaning, they're all going to have a range of 5 to the awesome. No matter how far away they are, as long as they're inside the weapon's maximum range, they're all going to be counting that range as 5 hexes, which is likely to be a significant improvement, mainly because those things are carrying nasty things like heavy PPCs. If there was a 5th Celestial Battle Mech, even in this case surrounding the Shadowhawk with an ECM bubble, the Malak could bounce its data backwards to that mech, who would then be able to share it forward with the rest of them, again giving C3I a significantly more flexible appearance on the battlefield. The biggest difference between the two systems is the number of mechs they can actually handle. The basic C3 system is able to control up to 12 mechs. You could have one master controlling 3 other masters, and then those 3 masters could be controlling 3 slaves themselves each, and they would all share targeting data, essentially giving you a regiment-sized, or a company-sized C3 network. C3I is limited to 1 level 2, or 6 mechs at the same time. All 6 mechs will equally share data, making them more flexible on the field, but they can't share it with as many mechs. A well-set-up, company-sized system can support a lot more mechs in the field, but is a lot more vulnerable to being knocked out by ECM. The C3I system only works for smaller groups of mechs, but is much more difficult to completely turn off, or for them not to bypass it by bouncing around in some interesting ways on the field. I think at this point in time we've more or less covered the important information about C3 networks. If you have any other questions, please ask them in the comments and I'll try to answer them as fast as possible. Again, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And this is SleeplessRonin saying, we'll catch you next time. Sayonara.